Okay, hello again, and welcome to the Serenity channel online AA group. I'm Henry, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm your secretary, and we're going to start off this group as we do all our other groups. Okay, please go to www.aa.org. All right, you can either half screen it. I've got mine on half. I've got mine on half screen. That way, I can make sure that I'm exactly where you guys are. Okay, you can click on your daily reflection to get your reflection. Make a contribution to AA. You know, give back. Give back. That's what we do today. We help the alcoholic that suffers. Uh, we learn. We just learn, and we got to give back. Today I just on a little personal note. Today I because I'm a substitute teacher, I've always had a well, even when I was young, I've always had a I guess a real soft spot for kids, because kids they need protection. They do. So, in weeks past, I had been thinking, what can I do to help St. Jude's Medical Center? Because I wanted to help kids. I went online, did some research myself, independent research, and I found out about St. Jude's founder. His name's Danny Thomas. He's an amazing gentleman. And he founded a hospital that literally does what it can do to help families who, when they find out they have a child with cancer, they pay for everything. They pay for the travel, they pay for the hotel, they pay for the chemo or whatever surgery. And these kids are just so brave, These kids are angels. They're literally angels. They're not there complaining. They're just happy that somebody, comes to see them, and they just want to be well. So when I saw that, I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to do something. So before I wanted to run, I run 4 marathons. So I was going to run, and I was going to pledge, but then I thought about it. St. Jude's is not asking anybody to run a marathon. They're not. What St. Jude's is asking, they're just asking you to be a partner, if you can. They're asking you to donate if you can. If you can do it just one time, go to stjudes.org. If you can make a one-time donation, that can help. That can help a kid who's fighting cancer. And the kids that they help are kids. They're not looking at categories of kids. They're not looking at where a kid financial background. They're not looking about a kid's if he has his mother or his father, or if his mom's a gay or lesbian, or if his dad's gay, or if he. St. Jude's doesn't care about that. They just want to take care of kids. That's love. Today I go where the love is. Love is all over St. Jude's Medical Center. So I took my debit card, and I signed up to become a donor to St. Jude's, and I have a set amount that's going to go to St. Jude's Medical Center every month, a set amount. And it was literally the easiest decision I ever made to help kids. The easiest decision I ever made. And they asked for $19 a month, $20 a month. $20 a month is really nothing when you look at a kid that's facing the fight of their life. So I encourage everyone, go to St. Jude's, read up about the founder, Danny Thomas. And when I was alcoholic, I didn't know that I had this kind of heart, because I thought that the world just didn't care anymore. I thought the world didn't care. That's where I was at. And this is after graduating college. I felt the world didn't care. That'll tell you what alcohol will do to you. Alcohol will it'll distort you. It'll make you insane. Alcohol will make you insane. That's what step 2 is about. So, before we get into step 2, we're going to start off like we always do with a moment of silence and a serenity prayer. Okay? This is for the alcoholic who still suffers. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, the wisdom to know the difference. All right, we're going to get right into step 2. We're going to get right into it. Step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Restore us to sanity. Now, when I first came in these rooms, those 4 words right there really kind of, I wouldn't say it got to me, but it's like I knew that I was insane, but I was thinking, who you calling insane? Because I'm from Compton, you know what I'm saying? Who you calling insane? You know what I'm saying? The machismo part of me rose up. Who you calling insane? All I had to do was look at my behavior. I would have known instantly that I was insane because I lost everything. I drank everything away. And then had the nerves to come up in these rooms and try to fool other alcoholics that was looking right at me. See, these other alcoholics know alcoholics when they see one. We just do. Because that's how we get down. Alcoholic can see another alcoholic. It's like the movie Blade with Wesley Snipes. See, Wesley Snipes, he knew when he looked at another vampire, because he was a vampire. So when he looked at another vampire, he knew that was a vampire. Well, that's how we get down in Alcoholics Anonymous. You out there walking the street, it's a, if we can pick you out. But if you come in these rooms where we are, you come in there and try to act like you're not what you are, well, we know what you are. We see you. We don't know if you're going to leave out the door and come back. But we pretty much know insanity because we were insane. All of us. We were all insane. So we know insanity. We know denial. Denial is they say denial is not the only river in the Middle East. Well, that's right. A lot of denial here on the internet. There's a lot of denial. People denying their own actions. This is what we're dealing with today. Actions and behavior. So we're going to go on and start. Page 25. All right. Oh, and like I said before, click that donate button to Alcoholics Anonymous on the AA.org website. Donate to AA. Help the alcoholic that's still suffering. Okay, now, page 25 at the top. The moment they read step 2, most AA newcomers are confronted with a dilemma, sometimes a serious one. How often we heard them cry out, "Look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute hopelessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsession? Some of us won't believe in God. Others can't. And still, others who do believe in God, others that do believe that God exists, have no faith whatsoever He will perform this miracle. Yes, You've got us over the barrel. All right, but where do we go from here? Let's look first at the case of one who says he won't believe, the belligerent one. He is in a state of mind which he can describe only as savage. His whole philosophy of life, in which he is so glorified, is threatening. It's bad enough he thinks. It's bad enough that he thinks to admit to alcohol has him down for the keeps. But now, still smarting from that admission, he is faced with something really impossible. How he does cherish the thought that man, risen so majestically from a single cell in the primordial ooze, is the spearhead of evolution, and therefore the only God with a small g that his universe knows. Must he renounce all this to save himself? Page 26. At this juncture, his AA sponsor usually laughs. This newcomer thinks it's just about the last straw. This is the beginning of the end. And so it is the beginning of the end of his old life and the beginning of his emergence into a new one. His sponsor probably says, "Take it easy." The hoop you have to jump through is a lot wider than you think. At least I've found it so. So did a friend of mine who was one time vice president of the American Atheist Society, but he got through with room to spare. "Well," says the newcomer, "I know you're telling me the truth. It's no doubt the fact that AA is full of people who once believed like I do, just as I did. But just how, in these circumstances, does a fellow take it easy? That's what I want to know." "That," agrees the sponsor, "is a very good question indeed. I think I can tell you exactly how to relax. You won't have to work at all very hard either. Listen, if you will, to these three statements. First, Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand that you believe anything. All of these 12 steps, but not suggestions. Second, to get sober and stay sober, you don't have to swallow all of step 2 right now. You really don't. Go on and look back. I find that I took it piecemeal myself. Third, what he's saying is he didn't totally believe everything about the higher power stuff. That's what he's saying. When he first got told about step 2, he didn't really believe all the step 2 stuff, but slowly but surely he just wanted to keep listening. Third, all you really need is a truly open mind. That's all you really need. What it means is you gotta be teachable. You gotta be coachable. It's like you want to, it's like you come onto a new team, right? The old team was bad, it was losing. So now you're on a new team, okay? You got a new coach. The third step is just asking you to be open-minded to your new coach. Just be open-minded. What that means is just listen. Listen to what they got to say, and then you weigh it. I did that very well when I was 4 years old. This sounds right. This sounds wrong. Listen. Okay. Just resign from the debating society and quit bothering yourself with such deep questions as whether it was a hen or an egg that came first. Again, I say, all you need is an open mind. The sponsor continues. Take, for example, my own case. I had a scientific schooling. Naturally, I respected, venerated, and worshiped science. As a matter of fact, I still do. All except that worship part. Which I can understand because I am enamored with science. I think science is amazing. Okay, time after time, my instructors held up to me the basic principles of scientific process. Search, research, again and again, always with an open mind. Always. Searching and searching, research, research, research. Then I first looked at AA. Oh, excuse me. When I first looked at AA, my reaction was just like others. The AA business, I thought, is totally unscientific. This I couldn't swallow. I simply wouldn't consider such nonsense. Then I woke up. I had to admit that AA showed results. Prodigious results. I saw that my attitude regarding these had been anything but scientific. It wasn't AA that had the closed mind. It was me. The minute I stopped arguing, I could begin to see and feel. Let me read that again. The minute I stopped arguing, I could begin to see and feel. Right there, step 2, gently and very gradually began to infiltrate my life. I can't say upon what occasion or upon what day I came to believe in a higher power greater than myself, but I certainly have that belief now. To acquire it, I had only to stop fighting and practice the rest of AA's program as enthusiastically as I could. This is only one man's opinion based on his own experience, of course. I must quickly assure you that AA's tread innumerable paths in their quest for faith. If you don't care for the one I've suggested, you'll be sure to discover one that suits if only you look and listen. He's talking about if you don't want to take the higher power that he suggests to you, one's going to come to you. Like when I was 4, like I explained when I was 4, and the tree outside, it looked like it was hugging me. I felt safe when I saw that tree. So even though I was 4, to me that tree was my higher power. So that's what he means by that. Many men, like you, have begun to solve the problem by the method of substitution. You can, if you wish, make AA itself your higher power. Here's a very large group of people who have solved their alcohol problem. In this respect, they are certainly a power greater than you. We have not even come close to a solution. Sure, you can have faith in them. Even this minimum of faith will be enough. You will find many members who have crossed the threshold just this way. All of them will tell you, once across, their faith broadened, page 28, and deepened. Relieving of alcohol obsession, their lives unaccountably transformed. They came to believe in a higher power, and most of them began to talk of God with a capital G. Consider next the plight of those who once had faith but lost it. Me. Grew up in the church, started drinking, joined the Navy, ran off, started doing whatever I wanted to do. Okay, there will be those who have drifted into indifference, those filled with self-sufficiencies who have cut themselves off, those who have become prejudiced against religion, and those who are downright defiant because God has failed to fulfill their demands. Can AA experience tell all these? They may still find a faith that works. Sometimes AA comes harder to those who have lost or rejected faith than those who never had any faith at all, for they think they have tried faith and found it wanting. They have tried the way of faith and the way of no faith. Since both ways have proven bitter, disappointing, they have concluded there is no place whatsoever for them to go. The roadblock of indifferences, fancied self-sufficiency, prejudice, and defiance often prove more solid and formidable than these people than any erect by unconvinced, antagonistic, or even the militant atheist. Religion says existence of God can be proved. The agnostic says it can't be proved. And the atheist claims proof of non-existence of God. Obviously, the dilemma of the wandering from faith is that of profound confusion. He thinks himself lost to the comfort of any conviction at all. He cannot attain in even a small degree the assurance of the believer, the agnostic, or the atheist. He is one bewildered one. He is the bewildered one. Any number of Alcoholics Anonymous, any number of AAs can say to the drifter, yes, we diverted from our childhood faith too. The overconfidence of youth was too much for us. Of course, we were glad that good home and religious training had given us certain values. We were still sure that we ought to be fairly honest, tolerant, and just, that we ought to be ambitious and hardworking. We became convinced that such Simple rules of fair play and decency would be enough. As material success founded upon no one than these ordinary attributes began to come to us, we felt we were winning at the game of life. This is exhilarating and it made us happy. Why should we bother with theological abstractions and religious duties, or with the state of our soul here or hereafter? The here and now was good enough for us. The will to win would carry us through. But then alcohol began to have its way with us. Finally, when all our scorecards read 0, and we saw that no more strike, when we saw that one more strike would put us out of the game forever, we had to look for our lost faith. If it was AA, that was disconnecting it. Excuse me. Let me read that over. It was in AA. It was in AA that we rediscovered the religion that we lost through going to AA. We rediscovered it, and so can you. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was in the church. I left the church. I left the church to join the Navy, do my little thing, try and do it my way. And when I left the church, I left my connection with my higher power. When you leave, for me, when I left my connection with my higher power, I left my ability to choose the positive side of my heart in every decision. Now, I was still a nice guy, but when I disconnected from my higher power, I couldn't see that drinking 40 ounces of charcoal was hurting my body. And for me, I would hold the 40-ounce bottle in front of me. And when you hold the 40-ounce bottle of Old English 800 in front of you, you can look on it and it says charcoal filtered. Right on it. Charcoal filtered. And I used to look at this like a big juicy apple. And I used to drink probably 3 or 4 of these every day. Charcoal filtered. Look at what I was doing to my body. Hey, we're going to go on over to part 2 of this, because they had to break this one down. We're going to go to part 2. Before we do, I'm going to close, like I say, with the Lord's Prayer. If God the Spirit leads you, please donate. If not, your time is great. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right. Peace and blessings. I'll see you for part 2 of Step 2.